Hello, this is Doug Brunke of the Global Chamber, and today I'm with Azusa Tobimatsu, who was born and raised in Toyohashi City in the Aichi Prefecture region of Japan. She attended Marshall University in the state of West Virginia for 2 years as an outreach coordinator for the Japan Foundation through the Japan Outreach Initiative program. Her first undergraduate degree is law, and she is now studying to acquire her second undergraduate degree in English education, as well as a teaching assistant. This is your first visit to the United States?
Yeah, I was in the West Virginia for 2 years as a Japan outreach coordinator, so it was my job to talk about Japan.
I see. And so have you been to the Western U.S. before?
Just on a trip.
Just on a trip. Okay, so welcome to the Western U.S.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you spending some time with us. You have a lot of experience with education. You have a lot of experience clearly with lifestyle, both in Japan and in the United States. Could you tell us a little bit more about some of the similarities and contrasts that you see that we should be aware of?
When I was in the U.S., I visited about 200 schools in West Virginia, and I realized American students are very, very positive or aggressive to learn new things, and I really like their attitude. But in Japan, students show their respect to be quiet and listening very, very carefully, and I think it's the both ways very good, but Japan and the U.S. has very different way to show their respect. And I really like the American student. They ask me hundreds of questions. Oh, why Japanese people always eat sushi, but actually Japanese people are not eating sushi every day. So I really like American student learning new things.
I see.
This is also.
How does that translate in the classroom, though? I mean, there seems like certainly some teachers would like quiet. So Americans tend to be very questioning, don't they? So it's good and bad, I suppose.
Yeah, sometimes good, sometimes bad, of course, because in Japan, it's very easy to talk, but very difficult to see how they think or how they react. But on the other hand, it's very, very, so I can finish my presentation on time because they are not really asking. But in the United States, it's very, very good. They can ask me many, many questions, but sometimes I talk too much because they ask me a lot of questions.
I see. So as Fujisaki Ambassador mentioned earlier, you're reading between the lines and asking a lot of questions. That is in the American spirit. I mean, that's kind of how Americans approach things, for better or for worse, right? Always trying to find. But in many ways, Japanese, especially in business or on a production floor or in other parts of life, definitely ask a lot of questions, but in a different way, isn't it? So how would you describe that difference? There's a more polite, very often, version of a Japanese approach that gets maybe to the same place, but through a different process. Is that what you see, or do you think it's really just quite a bit different?
I think it's quite same as you say.
Okay. So in the classroom setting, though, do Japanese students, they don't just take everything at face value, do they? Or are you saying that is kind of the way things work? That if a teacher says to them something, that they accept it?
Oh, I think in elementary school, they talk a lot. Because they talk a lot, but when they get older, they stop talking because they are kind of shy and they don't want to be different from the others. In Japan, like we wear school uniforms and we are very polite. I love that. I love that they are being polite and they are showing respect. But people when they get older and older, they are so afraid to be different. So when they're like elementary school level, they talk a lot because they are very positive or aggressive to know, like American people, they're asking a lot of questions, but when they get older, they stop talking. So the teacher having very big problem to see how the student react because they don't really talk, or sometimes they don't really trust adults, like teenagers. So yes, elementary school level is not very easy, but the teacher not having a big problem to see like how they react or how they think. But when they get older, they have big problem. They have difficult time to adjust with student.
I see.
That
makes sense. And what similarities do you see between the two countries?
Similarity? Not in the school, but I think in the. I'm not from Tokyo. I live in Kyushu region, Saga Prefecture, so very southern part of Japan. And I was in West Virginia, and West Virginia is not a big city in the United States. So I see that like both Japan and American people love like people in local area. They love their area. Like West Virginia people, they love West Virginia. And Saga people, I know Saga is not a big city, but they're proud of Saga and they love Saga. So I think that like spirit of local area is a similarity between the U.S. and Japan.
It's interesting because at a country level, certainly both countries have a lot of spirit positive for the country, but then locally in as well. So it's a very strong similarity, isn't it?
Yes. So in Saga is not a big city, but we still have tradition and we have many good things. So in Saga, I joined a group called Saga Hime, and we are trying to connect, Saga and big cities in Saga and even foreign countries like China and Korea, and we are advertising the good things in Saga. So we are trying to make Saga bigger, and we would like to people know about Saga because we love Saga. So.
And we love Saga too.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate your time and your insights, and we really appreciate the fact that the Japanese government and you are here and sharing your interest to develop even a closer relationship between our countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having us today.